Hi everyone, my name is Erin Elizabeth Wamberg. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you are new here. Today we're talking about this idea that there is some positive side effects of something taking too long, or the results not coming, or the manifestation, the thing you're trying to create in your life not showing up in the time that our ego wants it to. So today we're going to talk about the positive side effect of that. And I want to say, of course, from the beginning that I am not minimizing if this is annoying or frustrating or you're pissed off or any of that. I don't believe in any type of spiritual bypassing. So I'm not saying that you should just ignore those feelings that come up. I actually think that's way healthier if we can acknowledge those and process those as part of the process instead of pretending they're not happening. So that's the little disclaimer I'll put on that. But basically, when we're talking about, something taking too long or the results aren't here yet or where is it or any of that, I, applies to people who have put in the work. You're doing your part. You're showing up consistently, not perfectly, but consistently. And you're doing, what you can do. You're having your part in it. You're showing up. You're doing everything you think the conscious mind can do. And again, like the result still isn't happening, or it's not here yet. Nothing's working. This is so frustrating. When is it ever going to end, or wasn't it ever going to happen? Whatever the story is going on with here. I just want to reiterate again, I believe in a higher power, in a God, in the universe, whatever word works for you, source, spirit, that doesn't punish us. And I believe that God's plan is sovereign, and I believe that God's timing is divine timing. And even if we don't understand it, sometimes we find out why, sometimes we don't. But all of that aside, sometimes when things are taking too long, according to us, this is always an opportunity for us to deepen our relationship with ourselves. And so again, I'm not saying like to spiritually bypass anything or to not be frustrated or upset about anything. Like, that's definitely healthy and part of this process. But, what do I mean when I say that we can deepen our relationship with ourselves? So you have this goal for a reason. Okay. Obviously, it's a healthy part of being alive on earth. We want to grow. We want to have new things in our life. We want to make these things happen, so we can add certain things to our lives. And so part of you believes if you reach that goal, or, get healed from this thing or whatever it is, take it how it resonates for you. Part of you believes you're going to be happier, more fulfilled, more at peace, feel more abundant, maybe more worthy. You'll love yourself more, etc. once you hit that goal. And that's probably true. It's definitely probably true. It's why we want things, because we think they're going to make our lives easier and better, and etc. But I think sometimes when we have this delay, one of the side effects is that you can also access some of that peace, happiness, fulfillment, abundance, whatever. You can access some of that energy now in a different way. So we're very limited with our rational minds, with our human minds. And so sometimes it's, kind of taking the blinders off and just saying, okay, what is going on here that can be beneficial for me, even if it's not the tangible result that I'm really focused on, or this goal I'm focused on reaching within myself. So one way you can think about this is, according to your ego, right? Like, I should be here by now, or this thing should be happening by now, or this is the way it should be working by now, any of that stuff. A lot of times when that happens, if it's been, longer than we would like, and that can be any amount of time because it's based on our own personal reference. If that's been happening, then sometimes we can just get pissed off and get really frustrated, and we can sometimes turn that inward, and we can blame ourselves. We can be like, well, if I wasn't so lazy, or if I was smarter, if I was prettier, if I was skinnier, if I was, whatever your thing is, whatever your word is, the story you're telling yourself, we can take a moment to think like, okay, can I be more patient and compassionate and understanding to myself? Can I lighten up on myself? Can I ease up on myself? And can I say to myself, like, you know what? I know I'm doing the work. I know I'm doing my part. I know it's God's timing and not my timing. And so can you just say, like, I love you. I'm proud of you. I know you're doing your best, and I know we're going to get there. I'm not going to give up on you. Right. So, and especially doing that, not seeing the results, right? It's very easy to be like, oh, well, I love myself because I've achieved this, and this thing, and I've done this, and this thing. And, obviously, again, worldly success is part of the human experience. It does feel good to reach goals. It does feel good to be consistent. But a lot with this, what I think is really important, how you can deepen this relationship with yourself and have this positive side effect of something taking so long, is like praising yourself for the action, not the result. being grateful that you keep showing up for yourself. You're putting in the work, you're doing this, you're taking consistent action, you're being kind to yourself, you're not attaching your worth to these things happening, and instead focusing on, okay, well, I keep showing up to my therapy, to my workouts, to the way I'm eating, to, wanting to deepen this relationship, to putting myself out there, even if I get rejected 800 million times for a book deal or for a relationship or for whatever. So if you can keep showing up for yourself and develop that compassion and just be like, wow, I don't have the results, but I can see I'm doing this, this, and this thing and taking these steps. Like, can you lighten up on yourself? And again, know that sometimes we're not doing anything wrong, right? Sometimes you're doing everything right. And it really just comes down to the timing from God and just how many of these factors have to be in play for things to line up for us that we can't control. And so again, like another way you can think about this, a way you can develop this is, can you, there can be some emotional intelligence development here to learn to like, okay, can I be frustrated at the situation? Again, totally allowed, but not take it out on myself. Can I be upset that these things haven't happened yet, but not use that as ammunition to be mean to myself or to judge myself or to think I'm doing something wrong or think that something is wrong with me, right? So there's like a lot of fine tuning with this work, and this is, again, if you're watching this YouTube video, I'm going to assume you're invested in having a deeper, compassionate, loving relationship with yourself, right? So this really is about, just the different ways we can fine tune and get more nuance in like loving ourselves and showing up for ourselves, because as you go deeper within yourselves, the lessons are going to get deeper and more nuanced. And so again, just thinking like, can I not take these negative emotions out on me? Can I have like a healthy toolkit? Can I learn how to process these emotions maybe in a way that I didn't before, and in a way that's healthier for everyone involved, especially myself, right? Part of this can also be like deepening your relationship with yourself, can be learning to trust your body more, learning to trust that, your body is doing the best it can, and it's taking the time it needs to take, and you're not lazy or bad or stupid or weak or whatever is going on with that story that we tell ourselves. And just trust, again, your body wisdom and the time it needs to take, instead of thinking like, I know better and this is where I should be and this is what should be happening and this is whatever, right? Our body has so much information in it, and depending on your belief systems, there can be stuff in there energetically from generations, from past lives, from traumas, like things we know about, things we don't know about. You could be absorbing energy from around you, right? There's so many things going on that we don't know about that our body is in tune with. And so can it just be like, well, can I just stop forcing my logical mind what I think should be happening on like my physical body? If your body is clearly not ready to act, or clearly not ready to like be healed from this thing, then just trust that there's something there for a reason. And again, it doesn't mean something's wrong with you. And so just thinking about, again, the ways that like something taking too long or not where we think it should be or whatever, right? Like what we have to learn while we're waiting for something is always so beneficial to us. And what we learn while we're waiting usually makes us a better match for the thing we're waiting for in the end. And so again, I'm not minimizing that this can be really frustrating and upsetting and pissed off, and I can sit here very calmly and talk to you on this YouTube video today, but as someone who's experienced this, screaming, crying, very upset, all that emotional work, just remember, like, we are only human, but don't negate staying committed, especially when you get rejected, especially when you get frustrated, especially when you feel like nothing's happening, right? And just remember that baby steps are steps too, and these things are adding up, even if the process seems to be taking too long, right? And a lot of times too, our ego can judge like, oh, well, that person, it happened for them overnight, right? Well, yeah, everything happens for everyone overnight, but you don't see all the other overnights before that. And so don't use someone else's experience that maybe you don't know everything about to judge you and judge, well, where's my thing? What's going on with this, right? And so just remember that, like, again, I'm not condoning like having to be patient. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass and it sucks, so I get it. But this is really just a way, can you reframe, like, can I learn to be more compassionate to myself? Sometimes going through a hard time, sometimes the only thing we're supposed to get out of it is just learning to lighten up and be more loving and compassionate and nurturing and soothing to ourselves. If you can learn to be kinder to yourself after going through a hard time, that's amazing. And don't underestimate that. Don't downplay that. So this is, again, one way you can think about something like taking too long, or it's not here yet, or I'm not healed, or I didn't hit my goal. However this resonates for you, again, is just remember that there is something inside, a way we can always be more compassionate and kind and loving and nurturing to ourselves that maybe we didn't realize we had to access or work through, if we wouldn't be waiting for this particular thing. Okay, so hang in there. Something's going to change eventually. Just keep showing up. Keep doing it. Something's going to happen. Something's going to change eventually. And so, again, easier said than done. If you need to take a break, totally allowed, totally helpful, totally good to set boundaries, take a break, maybe not focus so much all your energy on why this is happening yet, right? But so just remembering that, sometimes when we do need to go deeper within ourselves, that is something that's going to serve us long term. And again, will be a match for us once we get to that other side, even though if we can't see why in the moment. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. If you ever want any more information about me, all of that is linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.